Sue. Welcome to the Lenormand Lovers STL, where you can learn how to read Lenormand cards for yourself. They are my favorite oracle card. They're very, very intuitive and incredibly accurate. So this series of videos is going to help you learn how to combine two cards together. And that is the beginning of learning how to read them, read the story that's in them. So you should have originally watched the first video, which is Spirit Vocabulary, where we go through each card and assign a one-word descriptor to the card that resonates for you. I have my own list. You're going to want yours. This series of videos, there should be 36 here, is where we're going to go through the cards and combine them together. We'll start with the Rider card and combine Rider with each of the other 35 cards, coming up with a two-word combination for that match. We'll do that for each of the 36 cards. So if you've already watched this video for another one of the cards, you can just skip in 6 minutes or so and start right in the middle, and it'll address the card that was written on the very front of the video. So all right, we're going to get started with our two card combinations. I'm going to share my screen with you. All righty, what are Lenormand cards? Lenormand cards are named after Mademoiselle Lenormand, a French professional fortune teller of considerable fame who lived during Napoleon's time. Mademoiselle Lenormand is considered to be the greatest cartomancer of all time, highly influential during the wave of French cartomancy that began during the 18th century. She didn't create the cards, but became famous for using them to read for her clients, as will you become famous when you learn how to read the cards. The 36 card deck is simple. It's illustrated with fairly concrete literal meanings and is known as Petite Lenormand. As with all fortune-telling vehicles, these are to be used for fun and as a form of entertainment and are not to rule our lives. We are all born with free will that we need to exercise when making daily decisions. So why Lenormand cards? They're very straightforward. Each symbol represents an object, a person, an idea, and it speaks directly to each one of us. We use our own personal symbol vocabulary or spirit vocabulary to tell the story that shows up in the cards. There are only 36 cards that are anchored in simplicity, making the foundation work to prepare to read the Lenormand cards very easy to grasp. And the deck size is usually small, like a deck of playing cards, and easy to handle. So the benefits of reading Lenormand. Working with the Lenormand cards will strengthen your connection to your intuition. Being so easy to read, Lenormand cards will strengthen your confidence in your reading skills very quickly. They can show you the direction you're heading in any situation, and it's up to you to stay this course or to make changes. The cards serve as a messenger from your higher consciousness. And these cards are eerily accurate and can give you a glimpse of your future, helping you to prepare and manage your life. So here are some resources. There are many different books out there in the marketplace that can help you on your journey to master reading Lenormand cards. And I have chosen to use the following. The book I use is The Essential Lenormand by Rana George. The tools don't get any better than what Rana has listed here in the book. Each card gets 2 to 3 pages of very specific information. There's lots of different card spreads, and it's a wealth of information. So this is the book that I recommend for you. Now the card decks that I use 2. In the videos, I'm going to be using the Dreaming Way Lenormand. I just love these cards. The artwork is amazing, very easy to grasp, very, very pretty. The other deck, well, actually the deck that I learned on is the Blue Owl deck. Very specific back. These are pretty straightforward as well. Like that's a bouquet. Here's an anchor. Very, very straightforward but you can use whatever deck speaks to you. These are always available on Amazon, but you can also check with a local bookstore if you want to support business in your neighborhood. So I studied under a very talented teacher for several years, building my reading skills, and this led to my reading for the public in 2017. Choose what speaks to you from these videos and from the books, and leave the rest. There are no real hard and fast rules. Some decks come with extra cards that reflect a different view of the card. For example, I have a deck where there's 2 men and 2 women. One's a young man, an older man, a young woman, an older woman. One of the decks I have has multiple birds in it. Might be owls versus crows. So pick the card that speaks to you and then leave the other one out. You don't need to have 2 men and 2 women. It'll start getting really, really confusing. Oh, the other resource I'm going to tell you about, so when we did the spirit vocabulary, you came up with your 1-word combinations for letters. Not combination, spirit vocabulary. I have put together a whole spirit vocabulary PDF that I am happy to let you download. But I'm telling you, these are my 2-word combinations. So they may not speak to you. You have to have your own. But if your words happen to line up with mine, then you can use it. So anyway, that's down below. You can download that. Alrighty. So there are some previous videos on here, moving through each of the 36 cards. Building your spirit vocabulary is the foundation for reading these cards. There are no set rules, and practice, practice, practice is the key to your experience. So the 2-card combinations, they're read in pairs, coming together to create a prediction that tells the story or answers the question that was asked. Now, learning these 2 cards is just the foundation. From there, we'll add a 3rd card. From there, we'll spring to 5 cards, then to 7 cards, then a 9-card block, then many, many other different layouts, and finally the grand tableau. So there's all kinds of ways to read these cards, but it all hinges on you being able to read, when this card comes up next to this card, this is what it means for me. So the symbols will flow together to give clarity about the past and give a glimpse of the future. Combining cards helps us blend the story of the cards, stringing the cards together to make a coherent statement. So we're going to start by looking at the first card as the subject of the 2-card reading, and the second card as a description that modifies it, or a noun as the first card and the adjective as the second card. So just as a refresher, noun identifies a class of people, places, or things, and the adjective is a word or phrase that describes the noun to modify it. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to start. Alrighty. Don't forget to download your handouts and print out the handout for this exercise. Check your settings before you print, because this is a large 36-page document and you might want to print it double-sided. You can pause the recording and do that now. And then there are links below the video for the Lenormand card combination blank PDF. You'll only need to print this once, and you'll use it for each of the 36 videos. So how to use this handout. We're going to take 1 word that symbolizes the meaning of each card in the Lenormand deck that you came up with in the exercise of spirit vocabulary. You're going to put that into the printout next to the card it represents in the column marked 1. For example, if we start with writer, you'll list for writer what your word was. For me, it was messenger. So messenger goes in the column 1 all the way down. Then what we're going to do is marry up each of the other 35 cards. So we're going to take writer plus clover. We'll put in what clover means, so lucky, and then we combine them together. We have messenger and lucky. We have a lucky message coming our way. So this will give you your 2-word combinations for each of your cards. I'm going to stop sharing at this time and move on to a different handout. So we're going to be working with the whip in this video. So the whip can mean a couple of things. It generally, for me, means arguments, conflict. It can mean repetition, because with whipping, it's over and over and over again. Sometimes, well, generally there's nothing good about the whip, but sometimes it can mean hot, steamy sex. But for most of us, it means arguments and repetition or something else for you. So let's get started with the whip. So repetition and arguments. So the first one is the rider, which for me is all about news. So this could be troubling news, criticism. I'll put criticism, that's a good one. Criticism. So now clover means luck. So luck and arguments or repetition. Luck can mean something like gambling, and the whip being negative. I'm going to say gambling losses. The ship is about a journey. It's about travel. So I will say a troublesome journey or trip. The house for me is home. So I'm going to say there's arguments at home. Could, you know what? This could even be domestic abuse. The tree is about health. So we could have a difficult health problem. Clouds is confusion for me. So I would say confusing arguments. Something's not clear about what the arguments are all about. Oh, the snake is danger or betrayal. So we could have, I want to say dangerous arguments. Now the coffin is endings. Does not necessarily have to be death, but let's say, I'm going to say deadly assault. Because again, there's really not much good about the whip. Oops. So the bouquet is a gift for me. So maybe you're being showered with gifts, repeatedly getting gifts. Then the scythe is sudden or sharp. So again, this would be not good. So let's say words that cut like a knife. The birds for me is talking, but it can also be gossip. So I'm just going to say arguments. Child is new, child or small. So this could be new arguments. The fox could be sneaky, or it could be a job. So I'm going to say repeated deception, because that's what that's about. You're just being hoodwinked repeatedly. So the bear can be diet, finance, or business. So I'm going to say arguments over money or business. My dog is agreeing. He's arguing over something downstairs. The stars are dreams, and in the whip, could be arguing over your dreams. It could be repeated dreams. It could be, I have down daydreamer too. So I'll put down daydreamer. Why would I say daydreamer? Let's work through that. So daydreamer is somebody who's really not paying attention. They're kind of off in la la land. And that's what the stars would be about. And the whip could be about, you know, possible trouble you get into over the dreams. So now we have the stork, which is transition for me. So transition, let's say troublesome change. You know, not all transition is good. So dog is loyal friend. So maybe you get into a fight with your friend. Or repetition could be weightlifting. So let's say this is a personal trainer. It's somebody you're working with on your fitness. So the tower, corporations, multi-level things, government, and the whip, that could be ugly. So I'm going to say trouble with authorities. So we have the whip and garden. Garden is a gathering. So this could be something like a public sporting event, or boxing. The mountain is delays. So this could be, or obstacles, repeated obstacles. Crossroads for me is choices. So this could be arguing over options, not being on the same page. Mice is stress or diminish. So maybe this could be being exhausted over and over and over and over and over again. It's just wears you out. So I'll say exhausted. The heart is love. So this could be where the kinky stuff comes in, or it could be love quarrels. For me, the ring is commitment. So this could be arguing over relationships. So let's say relationship troubles. The book is secret, knowledge. So you could be arguing over a secret coming out. Books can also be school. So this could be maybe like a spelling bee or something. But let's see. Books, arguments over secret. I'm going to say the secret's out. And you're in trouble. Now, letter is written communication for me. So this could be bullying via text message. Certainly not nice. So with the man and the woman, so this could be an abusive man. Could also be maybe a bodybuilder, because that's what repetition with weights and stuff. And so for the woman, this could be a nag. Lord have mercy. Nag, nag, nag. Or it could be a bodybuilder. So now the lily is peace and tranquility. So peace and tranquility and repetition. So maybe there's a lull in the arguments, kind of a truce. Now the sun is success. So this could be a lawyer in court. And he's winning. The moon is emotion. So I'm going to say it's an emotional argument. Ooh, I'm having trouble typing. So the key is the solution. So I'm going to say repetition is key. The fish is abundance, or could be resources. I'm going to say arguments about money. This is usually about arguments. So anchor is security. So I would say your security is threatened, but also with repetition, it could just be consistent. And then a burden. So I'm going to say challenges. Repeated over and over and over again just weighs on you. So that is the whip. So we're not going to go through each of the other cards today. So come back and check out the videos for the next card, which would be birds. You can go forward and do the rest of the cards on your own, because really you need to be putting in your spirit vocabulary for each card and coming up with what that means for you blended. All the handouts are attached in the description below. My gift to you is the full combination for each 2-card combination. However, those are my symbols and they may not resonate for you. The next step, there will be more classes. We'll continue through the 2-card combinations. Then we'll do the 3-card spread, 5 cards, probably 7 cards, the portrait spread, and eventually the grand tableau. And I hope you'll join me. I would love to help you if you have any questions. If you do, send me an email at Sue at piedpiperofpurpose.com. I won't interpret your reading for you, but I'll help you if you have any questions. I just love this work. I hope it speaks to you. I am incredibly proud of you that you're moving forward to learn how to do this, because you know there's nothing like knowing you can unlock those answers that are hidden deep within you. All right, my friends, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next.